Discover Eswatini. 10 things you didn't know about Eswatini. Eswatini is a country located in the southern part of Africa, landlocked with South Africa and Mozambique in its surroundings. Before bearing the name of Eswatini, this country was formerly called Swaziland. Now, before we begin, if you're new to the channel, subscribe and turn on the notification bell so you don't miss any of our upcoming videos. Let's begin. It provides better safari experiences. Eswatini is a destination with lions and elephants in Royal Hlane National Park and black and white rhinos in Hlane and Mhkaya Reserves. The safaris are very rewarding, but there are also possibilities for safari on horseback, mountain bike, or on foot if you want to get closer to yourself. This even applies to the rhino, which can be followed on foot. When it comes to bird watching, the variety of species found in Eswatini's varied habitats matches that of the much larger Kruger Park just to the north of the country. Eswatini is home to many African wild animals species, with some 132 recorded mammal species, many of which are protected in animal parks and nature reserves across the country. Rhinos, giraffes, hippos, and elephants are high on most visitors' wish lists. You can certainly see a lot of them in Eswatini, alongside a small number of predators and many antelopes and small mammals and reptiles. A rare place to find black and white rhinos. Eswatini has around 17 protected areas that are home to several species. Mhkaya is one of the best places on the continent to see black and white rhinos. Black rhinos are considered endangered, which unfortunately means that there are not many left on Earth. White rhinos, however, are considered near threatened. This means that there are more white rhinos than black rhinos, but they don't have many either. But what is the difference between a white and black rhino? Well, white rhinos have bigger skulls than black rhinos. Their foreheads also blend more into their back and also have a smaller shoulder hump than black rhinos. White rhinos are the second largest land mammal, just smaller than elephants. Not only is the black rhino the smaller of the two, it's also nicknamed hook-lipped rhino for its eye-catching lip. The other distinguishing feature is that the black rhino has rounded ears. A country with more than 70 clans. The Swazi nation has over 70 clans. Their chiefs from the traditional hierarchy are under the Ngwenya and Dhovukazi, who belong to the largest clan, the Dlamini. The merger reunited clans already living in the region that is now Eswatini, many of which were of Soto origin, and clans of Nguni origin who entered the country with the Dlamini in the early 19th century. Traditional administration and culture are governed by uncodified Swazi law and custom, which are recognized both constitutionally and judicially. The language is Swati, which is akin to Zulu, although it shares official status with English, which is actually generally used for official written communication. Swati dishes. The Swati diet is based on grains and vegetables. Meat dishes are reserved for special occasions when dishes such as goat stew, roast goat thigh, or roast free-range chicken are served. Mealies, a porridge made from corn or sorghum, is the staple food. The often porridge is served with spicy stews made from vegetables and leafy greens. Pumpkin, green beans, corn, spinach, beets, rice, and sweet potatoes are frequently used ingredients. Some of the popular dishes are emasi, sour milk, a fermented milk delicacy where raw cow's milk is fermented and filtered, corn on the cob, roasted or boiled, antreba, and mkunsu, dried meat spicy similar to jerky. Typical dishes are sishwala, a thick porridge served with meat or vegetable stew, inchwachwa, a sour porridge made from fermented flour, mdivo with insanga, squash leaves cooked with peanuts, sidvudvu, a pumpkin-based porridge mixed with flour. Swati writes, a newborn baby is welcomed into the world with white luck beads placed around their waist, wrists, or ankles. At puberty, a boy joins his age regiment, Here he learns virility and service to the king. A girl from the first period is isolated in a hut for several days. She is instructed by her mother on observances and taboos. After puberty, the families of a girl and a boy begin marriage negotiations. The groom and his family transfer the bride's fortune, lobola, to the bride's family. This includes valuables such as cattle and, in modern times, perhaps cash. Besides the exchange of gifts, the wedding ceremony also includes songs, dances, ritual lamentations, and feasts. Couples can choose to have a Christian marriage. The corpse of a deceased Swazi undergoes a mortuary ritual. A widow can be expected to continue her husband's line by marrying one of her husband's brothers. This practice is also known as levirate, Ngena. It is similar to that of India. Swati cultural ceremonies. The two main cultural ceremonies of Eswatini are the Inchwala in December and the Umhlanga in August. The Inchwala is sometimes described as a ceremony of the first fruits, but spread over 6 days. It is a much more complex ritual of renewal and strengthening of the kingship and the nation, with songs and dances used only on this occasion. The Umhlanga, or Dance of the Reeds, brings together the girls and young unmarried women of the country to cut reeds for the annual repairs of the windbreaks in the village of the Queen Mother. It lasts 5 days. It is also the symbol of the unity of the nation and its perpetuation through the massed ranks of young women. Other ceremonies are associated with the communal weeding and harvesting of the king's fields and those of the chiefs and customary weddings. Most of the ceremonies are accompanied by traditional music, songs, and dances. The musical instruments are simple in design. The Friday flag. Eswatini's flag, known as the Friday flag, has a large horizontal blue stripe in the center of the flag, bordered by 2 horizontal yellow stripes, then 2 horizontal blue stripes on the outside. The red banner in the center houses the traditional black and white Nguni cowhide shield with 2 spears and a staff behind the shield. The feathered tassels hanging from the spears are called jobo. Blue represents peace and stability in the country. Yellow represents the country's resources, primarily the minerals that the country produces. Red represents the struggles of the nation. The shield is black and white to represent not only the color of the ox, but also the unity of the black and white people of the country. As for the presence of the shield, it represents military traditions and protection against enemies of the nation. Swaziland has always been Eswatini. The kingdom was established in the mid-18th century under the leadership of Ngwenya III, but Eswatini, formerly Swaziland, got its name from a 19th century ruler, King Mswati II. Under him, Swaziland developed into an empire. The country's current borders were established during the African Rush in 1881. Swaziland was a British protectorate from 1903 until its independence on September 6, 1968. The name Swaziland was an amalgam of the English language and of the national language, Swazi. In April 2018, thanks to King Mswati III, the country changed its name from Swaziland to Eswatini to celebrate 50 years of independence from the British rule. The name means place of the Swazi. By renaming the country, the king hoped to eliminate a vestige of the colonial era. The name change came at a price. Government agencies had to be renamed, headers and signs replaced, identity cards and passports exchanged. Eswatini has the oldest mine in the world. This is where the Ngwenya mine is located, one of the oldest known mines in the world. The Ngwenya mine is located on the northwestern border of Eswatini. Its iron ore deposits constitute one of the oldest geological formations in the world and also have the distinction of being the site of the first mining activity in the world. The Visitors Center has an interesting exhibition of photographs and information, including original excavation tools. To visit the mine, even if you are traveling by vehicle, you will need to be accompanied by a ranger who will explain the history of the mine to you. Note that tips are appreciated. Although the mine is part of the Hlane Nature Reserve, you cannot continue to the rest of the reserve. The entrance is indicated on the MR3. a country with two capitals. The Kingdom of Eswatini is an African country which has two official capitals, Mbabane and Lobamba. While the former is recognized as the administrative capital, the latter is the legislative and royal capital of the country. Mbabane is the largest town in Eswatini. As the administrative capital, the state administration of Eswatini is run from Mbabane. The city is also home to 14 foreign embassies and consulates. The city began to prosper after the administrative center of the nation was moved from Manzini, then called Remetsdorp, in 1902. Mbabane was favored for its central location and cooler climate. As for Lobamba, this city is recognized as the traditional, spiritual, and legislative capital of the state and serves as the seat of the parliament. Here we are at the end of our video. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you did, please leave us a like and a comment in the comment section below. Bless.